trapped in their own body.
I was expecting that transition from being a girl to a lady.
Seen but misunderstood.
I have a problem with people who think that God made a mistake.
But in his own eyes, he is no different. This is the story of James, telling a tale many shy from discussing. Will society ever accept him? Meet 22-year-old James Karanja, also known as Mary Waithera. She is not your classic-looking girl. This is the high school that molded her into who she is today. The stage in her life when everything will come to light and the naked truth told.
Sikuwa astonished with the issue. I just took it as it was rolling. So naamka asubuhi, naona okay, msichana kaika mimi. So what I just need to do is I just hide myself.
It was Mary Kimaro, her confidant and high school teacher, who noticed that Mary was different from other students.
He accused me of fixing him. We talked with him the same day, and the reason was that there were a number of letters. We had done a search in the dorm and had found some letters, which were kind of love letters.
Miss Kimaro showed love and guided Mary Waithera on a difficult journey. Years later, Miss Kimaro still has fond memories of her former student, despite occasionally referring to him as a her in our chit-chat.
No, I'm not, because it is actually, I even tell her, it is difficult for me to say that he's a he, a she, yeah. At times I will refer to him as a him, as a she, yeah. Because you see, from Form 1 up to Form 4, having dealt with her as a her, and then all of a sudden a he. Yeah, it can be confusing.
But why are we referring to James as a her, yet he visibly and unmistakably strikes us as a man? Gender identity can be confused for sexual orientation. The intersex group is where James finds himself, and he is not alone. Intersex is a person born with a reproductive anatomy that does not seem to fit the typical definition of female or male. One finds a female with XX chromosomes having the male XY genetic material. Similar, amongst typical XY chromosomes share the same body as the XX female chromosomes. These people are different from gays, who are individuals exhibiting sexual desire towards persons of one's own sex.
I used to find it hard nipate a rafiki mwenye naweza confine. Then because of my nature, because watu walikuwa wanaona shule, I'm not developing nikuwe msichana. So I'm taking more of boys side. So it was a challenge, una matiti, then voice in a break niko from there. So it would be a challenge. Hata msichana mwenyewe angeogopa kabisa kuona na wewe most of the time, because immediately you are seeing together too much. Especially, okay, people know that you are more of a boy, then the other one is more of a lady. Then that's lesbianism. So that one also was a hindrance. Nikuwe na rafiki wa dhati. So I used to be freelance. Kila mtu alikuwa rafiki yangu. I used to talk to everybody.
Reconstructive surgery has actually been done. You know, there are many models of treatment and very controversial. Because what happens is that when treatment is given to a child before they can give consent, is that we impose a gender onto this child. Lo and behold, much later now, for example, when they're teenagers, like for example in this case where it looks male, but it's actually, you know, genetically female, and much later as a puberty, they give consent to be, you know, male, and you know, you get the opposite. You see now, then it leads to a lot of confusion to the person involved. Because I think the treatment should be patient-centered and not treating the people around.
What has happened with corrective surgery is that you grow up after having had multiple surgeries and your body cannot take it anymore, and then during puberty you realize that you never wanted to identify as female if that's what you're given, or male if that's what you're given, and then that also has an emotional impact on you, and that's continues to perpetuate, like cancers, because you're on hormonal treatment for a long time, continues to perpetuate depression and mental instabilities.
Our journey begins in Nakuru County, known for its lakes as well as agricultural produce. This is also home to James Karanja, known to others also as Mary Waithera. Today's trip to his home village marks a big step for him. He is about to have an uncomfortable conversation. James is making his gender identity firmly clear to his family. After warm-hearted greetings, James' family gathers outside. The chit-chat attracts neighbors passing by.
Nilipozaliwa nyanyangu na mamangu na pia madaktari waliopokuwa hospitalini walikuwa nafikiria mimi ni msichana. Sababu hiyo ni vizuri kuuliza nyanyangu vile naweza kuwa kifikiria ambayo hiyo maamuzi nimefanya. Lakini hiyo maamuzi sijafanya mimi kwa kukaa chini na kufikiria. Nimepitia kwa madaktari wengi na wakaamua ndo mimi ni kijana sina chochote cha kuwa kunihusisha na msichana. Sasa naweza uliza nyanyangu aseme vile anavyofikiria maneno.
Nilijua kama hivyo nimesema, niliona yeye hana mambo mazuri ya mwanamke au ya mzee. Sasa nikamrudisha kwa daktari. Nikimrudisha huko kwa daktari, nikaambia ni daktari niachane na mtoto akuwe. Nikaenda sasa tukaenda nyumbani. Sasa tukakaa, akaenda nasari. Akienda nasari, kukakuja huko tulikuwa kwa Maera. Daktari wengine wakakuja, maana yake tulikuwa kwa ukibisi. Sasa hiyo daktari nikaenda kwake. Nikamuuliza, sasa huyu mtoto yangu ninaona ako na nini? Ako na hitilafu. Akaniambia wacha. Chuchu enda hiyo mtoto afanye nini? Akue. Sasa mimi nikakaa tu. Sasa akasoma. Tukakaa naye tu, mimi naona tu akienda kuchota maji anakataa kubeba mtungi na mgogo. Anabeba na nini? Na bega. Sasa hata akachukua baisikeli, anaenda kuchota maji na nini? Na baisikeli. Hata kuni nikimwambia aende, alikuwa anakataa tu kwenda kuni. Hakuniambia hata aenda, lakini anakaa tu. Sasa mimi simsukumi, nikiona ni anakataa simsukumi.
Amekuwa akisomea shule kama msichana kutoka primary mpaka shule upili. Na sisi tulikuwa tunamtambua kama msichana. Alivaa kama msichana, lakini mambo zake hazikuadiliana kama msichana. Alikuwa na alivaa trouser, alibeba kama kijana. Kila kitu chake alifanya alicheza na vijana. Kwa hivyo sisi tulimchukulia kama msichana, lakini mambo zake zilikuwa za kijana. Kwa hivyo sisi tulimjua kijana, msichana kabisa. Sasa juzi ndio amekuja kutuambia, tulikutana na yeye kwa home, akasema sasa yeye akaniita. Nikamuuliza kwa nini alibadilisha jina na ameanza kujiita Jemo. Ndio aliniambia hiyo ni story mrefu. Tukakaa mahali akaniambia mimi katika kwenye nimekuwa sasa, mimi nimekuwa si msichana, nimekuwa kijana. Nikamwambia kama ameenda medical test, akaniambia alikuwa ameenda Gilgil na amepimwa, imeonekana kabisa daktari aliyempima anasema yeye ni kijana.
Huko kwa secondary akiwa akasoma form 1, form 2, form 3 ndio alijijua yeye mwenyewe. Akakuja akaniuliza, nikamwambia hebu nikueleze. Sikukuambia maana yake ulikuwa ungeweza kukataa nini shule. Mimi nilikuwa nasema wewe ujijue wewe nini mwenyewe. Sasa akaniambia yeye anajijua, alikuwa anataka kukataa shule. Huyu hii msichana yangu tukampembeleza na yeye akarudi shule. Sasa akasoma. Sasa ile alisoma form 4 akakuja, akimaliza anakuja. Akaniambia sasa susu mimi nataka kwenda wapi? Huko kwa Kanywa. Nikamwambia ni vizuri, maana yake utaenda kusaidia mama yako na mimi nipumzike, maana yake mama yake ni mgonjwa. Sasa akaenda. Hajarudi tena hapa, lakini mimi naendaga wapi? Huko. Akaniambia yeye alijijua. Na akijijua sasa akajiita Jemo. Nikamwambia hakuna ubaya.
manake hiyo ni maba ya nani? Ya Mwenyezi Mungu.
We sit down away from others and, blow by blow, James lets us into his lonely world. That of a mixed gender that has resulted in a divided personality.
Nilikuwa na expect wazazi wangu wale mami ni msichana. I was expecting that transition from being a girl to a lady. Then all of a sudden, I've taken an opposite direction. Nimechukua mwelekeo mwingine wa kuwa kijana. Mbona mimi? So, but at the end, baada ya kuwa kusoma vitabu, naelewa these issues are, then okay, there's no one to blame. So what I need is to roll on with life and change to what I feel. Na mahali nafsikia mimi, I'm comfortable. So I decided to take a guy's name. At the same time, I decided to change my document. Sababu nahitaji kwenda shule, chuo kikuu. Because I recall one day, before mamangu sasa aje kuwa mgonjwa kiakili, akiniosha nilikuwa na miaka 4, aliniuliza, alinishika viungo vyangu vya uzazi vya kijana, akaniuliza vyauma, aliniuliza kama zinauma. So what I replied, it was no, because there was no pain. So akaamua kunifanyia, akaniambia okay, if hazumi then it's good to go. Uendelee hivyo, wakati mwingine tutaijua vile tutafanya. So ile kuwa I'm interested kujua how a girls look like or how a boy looks like, haikuwa niingia kwa akili vile. It's never.
We do tests to check which organs you have, because whether you are male or female is determined by mainly whether you have ovaries or whether you have testes. So if you have ovaries, you are more likely to be a woman. If you have testes, you are more likely to be a man. So as much as in the hospital we are able to do those tests, see which internal organs you have, because you could have a child who is delivered without testes, but they didn't descend. They are still in the abdomen. So when you do ultrasound, you find they are there, but they're in the abdomen, they didn't descend.
James admits he first did not understand why his body was different.
I went to a girls boarding school. Wakati nilienda huko, I recall very well. Siku ya kwanza kwa admit wa shule, nilienda kuingia kwa gate. Kila mtu aliingia, alitoka, wale waliokuwa kidato cha 4, cha 3 na cha 2, kuona kijana ambaye ameletwa shule yao na msichana. But nilikuwa mdogo sana, so sikuweza kuwa na ile mafikira mbona kila mtu ananiona I'm different. So I thought I was always kufuata yale mamangu alikuwa ameniambia, wewe ni msichana, kaka msichana. So I thought I was in the right place. Bado nilikuwa form 1 na form 2. Sasa nilipofika kidato cha 3 ndo nikakuwa na ile self realization. Mimi nikabarehe, nikajua I'm in the wrong place, but at the right time, juu nahitaji kusoma.
For a topic seen as taboo and not popular in African home states, many find it difficult and uncomfortable to discuss gender identity.
In fact, in some communities, such children might even be sacrificed or thrown away or killed because they are seen to be a bad omen. Not just intersex, any malformation. You know, intersex is just a malformation of the genitalia. You could have malformations of the face, you could have malformations of the limbs. So we know some communities, when you have malformations, they would even kill the child and say this is a bad omen. So I would say, not that really they don't support, they don't understand. And the way culture has a lot of influence on how we interpret things. So certain cultures might interpret this is witchcraft, or so when you bring in the culture, then it could be very unfortunate for a particular individual.
From 2008 until 2012, I struggled with cancer, ovarian cancer, cervical cancer, endometrial cancer, all sorts of cancer. And then in 2012, the doctors discovered that I have testes attached to my ovaries. And for that, my thyroid does not produce hormones the way a female body does, and for that my hormonal combination is ridiculous, and my chromosomal count also is out of charts. If I was going to question my Africanness, or thus the process that had gotten me to the point that I understood that my body could exist without necessarily being either or, I'll be doing disservice to my Africanness.
Nilikuwa na shida moja shule. I used to attract large crowd ya wasichana, and at the same time nilikuwa the teacher's favorite na teaching staff favorite na bado student. Sasa juu ya kuwa napendwa na kila mtu, nilipofika kidato cha 3 nikafanywa assistant head girl. Nikaendelea vizuri. I was very disciplined, but uko ndani I used to receive love letters. Sasa walimu walikuwa at that time there's no teacher who ever caught me.
Love letters ulikuwa unazipokea
kutoka kwa wasichana wenzangu. Okay, they were saying like, okay, you are cute, why I love your lips. And then sasa zile sexual content in a letter, what you can write to somebody, hizo ndo nilikuwa napata mimi. Okay, I never used to reply any of those letters.
Growing up, James' mother was barely around. She suffers from mental illness. James' grandmother never said a word to him about having 2 reproductive organs, and she had her reasons.
James angesoma, angewezi kusoma, angekataa. Hawezi kusoma, angekataa. Akijijua hivyo, anakataa. Ujue kutoka akiwa kwa mudhiri, alikuwa saidi alinjijua, anakataa shule. Sasa ingemwambia akiwa mtoto angesoma kweli?
Ni mimi nilimuuliza kwa nini alibadilisha jina akajiita Jemo. Sikustuka sababu niliona kana kwamba kutoka mwanzoni utotoni wake alikuwa na ule ujana. Sikustuka vile, lakini akaniambia hayo aniko si makubwa huwa yanafanyika. Alinipa mfano na huyu msichana alikuwa South Africa. Semenya akaniambia alikuwa msichana na alibadilika. Akaniambia mwingine alikuwa sijui wa Namibia na alibadilika na akawa mfulana. Pia akanipa mfano na Andre Bogu alikuwa msichana na siku hizi amekuwa msichana tena. Kwa hivyo sikustuka sana.
The unfortunate thing is I was at one point working with the group, and it was sad to know that there were some of those children who are now adults who were born at home, and the parents didn't even take them to hospital to actually find out what can I really do with this child, is anything else which can be done. And the parents kept quiet about it, and they said I wanted to have a boy, or he looks more of a boy, and they brought him up as a boy, or she looks more of a girl, and I wanted a girl, so I'll bring her up as a girl. And so as they grow up by adolescence, when they were dressed in a particular gender, addressed in a particular gender, then they start feeling differently. And it was unfortunate, I was even seeing some who had developed secondary sexual characteristics of the opposite gender. So it's very unfortunate for the ones who are delivered at home and never seek medical care, because at least the ones who are in the hospital, they are explained, who are born in hospital, they are explained that as much as we will do gene chromosomal karyotyping, do tests to actually determine what are your genes, your chromosomes, and we do tests to check which organs you have.
Yani kwa ile situation, upenda kuingua kuliko kuingiana.
Okay. As nightfall crawls in and the cold, wet drizzles begin to pour, this conversation had to pause until the next day. The following day, we find Joseph, James' uncle, busy with the day's chores. James spent the night with his family. But there is still one more step he needs to take in his quest for a peaceful mindset.
You ready, Mom?
Sorry. Just use this way. My shoes.
So it's the following morning, a few minutes past 10 a.m. It's a cold and wet one here at Molo Town. We're heading to James' former high school, Kambala Girls High School. We're hoping to talk to the head teacher as well as one of the teachers that encouraged James to change his name from Mary to James and accept his new identity. It's during this same high school, back in Form 4, he had to miss out the whole of second term because love letters were found in his room during inspection. From the outside, the teachers had no idea about Jim's unique status. Therefore, it looked as if he was encouraging same-sex relationship within this girls' high school. It is during his high school years that James, then known as Mary, knew that he was different. James says his life in school betrayed him.
Okay, it was difficult because wazazi wangu walivyonilea, my guardian, so ndo nyanyangu, alikuwa amenifunza mimi ni wasichana. So every time I used to feel as if I'm out of place.
When you're back at home, with your parents, I heard you telling your family that your Facebook name is accepted?
Outcast.
Outcast.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Why?
The whole thing came in like a dream because I was never sikuwa kuwa astonished with the issue. I just took it as it was rolling. So naamka asubuhi naona okay, msichana akaika mimi. So what I just need to do is I just hide myself. So I was never exposed na sikuwa jua if such kind of an issue inaweza ku happen kwa mtu mwingine. So I always took myself to be that unique person.
With the love letters he was receiving, James' suspension and contagious relationship with girls was the beginning of his acceptance journey.
Do you think coming to a girls' high school compared to a boys' high school was a better decision?
True from my parents, because what most people don't get, it's like at that time it's not that I was pure boy. It is an ambiguous genitalia ambapo I was not fully formed. So those guys could have thought I'm hermaphrodite and taken advantage. So being here is more, girls are always lenient. Wasichana, their way of approaching issues is totally different from that of guys. So if I went to a guy's school, nafikiria probably more than ingekuwa mbaya zaidi.
Mimi nikiwa nyanya yake nilichukua hiyo ni mambo ya Mungu, si mambo ya kifamilia. Hiyo ni mambo ya Mungu, manake Mungu anaomba watu wengi tofauti. Ukaona huyo ni kiwete, huyo ni wanamuna hii, huyo ni wanamuna hii, lakini si mambo ya kifamilia. Hapana, mambo ya Mungu hawezi geusa.
Back in 2009, when James was in Form 3, his unique status gained him quite a few nicknames, such as Mary Tom and Mary Boy. Of course, at first he was quite uncomfortable with it, but later on he eased right into it. Mary Boy became his favorite out of all of them. And having gone to an all-girls high school, James says that was one of the best decisions that his family members ever made. At some point, the lack of clarity in James' gender role took a toll in his spiritual life as he tried to figure out his feelings for the opposite sex.
Sasa nilipokuwa kuongea ukweli, sija kwa mtu wa kwenda kanisani. Mi huamini tu. Lakini wakati nilikuwa napitia hizi mashida, before nianze sasa hizi mambo za kuanza kuchange the document vitu vyangu vya shule, nilikuwa naamini Mungu aishi. Sababu ile mashida nilikuwa napitia, sikuwa yona kama kuna mtu wa kawaida anaweza pitia. Sasa nilikuwa namuuliza mbona anipe majaribu ya hiyo namna.
The Church of Jesus Christ is open to all sorts of people because that's the only place where they can find redemption in Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ came to save. And so Jesus Christ did not come to judge, he came to save. And I think that is the same approach that we as pastors and bishops should have towards people who find themselves in that kind of situation.
Our religious circles are supposed to affirm our spirituality and our wellness. If they can't in themselves question how violent it is to continue erasing people's existence, it's problematic to then expect that we can have an objective conversation because already you're biased in this conversation. And it's okay as human beings to question how we exist, but it's not okay to continue insisting on a reality that's not ours.
Sikuwahi kuwa na ile second thought ya kufikiria. Let me thank God for giving me the chance to live. But after sasa hizi mambo kwanza ku roll on, like kwenda hospitalini kufanywa scannings, kajulikana kwamba mimi ni mwanamume. So na vile niliongea na wakuu serikalini nikaona so kila kitu is possible. It's a matter ya kuamini Mungu yoishi. So kwa sasa I do believe. Pia mimi huomba asubuhi kila nikiamka na naambia Mungu anisaidie ile maneno yao kutoka kinywani mwangu iweze kuwa ya kunufaisha wengine ambao labda wanajitoa uhai kwa hali kama yangu walionayo.
One of the things that actually as intersex activists we have to be very careful about and to continue letting people know is that it's allowing people to see the inhuman, degrading ways that operation and surgery is defining and insisting that you shift yourself and limit yourself to the expectation of maleness and femaleness takes away from your own process of self-determining. This is why we have a lot of mental illnesses and discomfort, because the dysphoria around gender is that insistence that your genitalia is the whole essence of your gender. But we know that gender encompasses your hormones, and hormonal balances vary from body to body, your chromosomes, and that also varies, and XXXY is not the truth, because our bodies have also proven that we have XXXO. There are 48 different ways of being intersex, and that doesn't necessarily manifest physically.
Behind all the heartache that came with his gender identity, James had bigger fish to fry. Attaining academic certificates was a challenge.
One thing is like the society. I'm from, my background is not that good. Nepal, my mom is mentally challenged. Then me, in the community, these people expected a transition from being a girl to a lady. So all of a sudden, things have changed. So it's from a girl to a gentleman. So this thing in a community where illiterate has higher percentage, so they don't believe that thing can happen. So they'll just take my homestead as an outcast. So hakuna mtu ataka kupatia kazi sababu ataona kama unaenda kuharibu kazi yake wana. Then the issue of ID card, I've never accessed one because every time it's like I'm needed a birth certificate. When I went to where I was born, those people told me that they don't have any records regarding my birth. And I had some document to prove it's true. I was from that hospital.
We have late registration of birth and death. So James can register, go to the registrar of births and deaths and get a birth certificate. But now, since James has discovered himself, previously he was a lady. Now that he has discovered that he's a man, certainly those facts must be disclosed to the registrar, so that when he's issuing the birth certificate, do not differ with some of the maybe academic certificates James already have.
The journey he walks is overlooked in society, but James has begun the conversation. Now he's looking forward to fatherhood.
In every problem, there's a solution. Because tuseme sijapata mtoto, so I think I can adapt. I can adopt mtoto. So that one has not been my issue. And then this confidence, I've got confidence in me. So even if I fail, I'm with the right person who understands me.
As much as we are afraid, we are fearful of what it means, we have it. That's James exists because we are all Kenyans and we are willing to speak James's narrative right here because that's a reality. Would we rather erase that or would we rather face that? So I believe that we have space to have this conversation, that it's a dialogue that we need to become more empathetic with and we need to have more tenderness with.
Sasa hiyo jina si yako. Naitwa James Karanja. Wewe ni James Karanja.
James' medical condition is not life-threatening, but it causes social misunderstanding. The lack of awareness within society places labels on victims such as James, labels on health conditions that they did not choose from. Also, Kenya's constitution is also a bit weak when it comes to recognizing unique medical conditions such as this one. Creating awareness, talking about it, and stronger law structures can go such a long way. Zindzi Kibiku, KTN News, Nakuru County.